everybody's favorite dictator from North Korea, Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jongun.
We watched the special. It came out months ago. It came out back in February on Hulu, and I don't remember what it's called, but it is a special on him on Hulu. And I knew very little about him going in. I just thought he was a crazy pants. And Lindsay was like, I watched the special. It was super interesting. Watch it. And I did. It's super interesting.
Super interesting.
Um,
I watched
he,
that, and then I watched the videos of Bin Laden or something after. I was like, I guess I'm on just like a
yeah, just gonna watch it on dictators. You
stream.
know, and Kim Jong Un was in the news recently for banning skinny jeans.
Yeah.
So he banned skinny jeans. So I was already talking about him, and then Lindsay said to watch this, but I was making the joke. I was like, well, he banned skinny jeans because he tried them on. He looked terrible, and he couldn't have people wearing skinny jeans looking better than him. Which
Yeah.
honestly, if I was a dictator,
I would
same.
do that too.
100%.
Oh,
Like I look bad.
one piece jumpers cut me off because I'm extremely tall and long, and they give me the camel toe to heaven, and this isn't working. So nobody is allowed to wear these motherfuckers because I
Yeah.
can't. So your asses are not going to be wearing
Yeah,
them.
you're like, I'm not about to have other people looking cute and things that I can't pull
Right.
off.
I would.
Everybody wears the gray jumpsuit, and this is the society we live in. Um, but yeah, his childhood was crazy. I didn't know that he basically grew up in like an underground tunnel system. Like I thought that was weird. And they said that
And then he went to school in like Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Super, super socialist country.
Yeah. That was a weird choice to me. I was like, really? Like that's where they chose to send him? Like it was
Right.
pretty it was so sad though when you found out. So he was living with his aunt and uncle on his mother's side. And when he was a teenager, his mother had cancer. And the it essentially seemed like once that the mother died, they were basically going to cut off this aunt and uncle because all ties to them were like dead. So the aunt and uncle were like, yeah, you can't live with us anymore. And they fled as refugees to America. And they like literally went into witness protection because they were like afraid of this family.
Yeah.
And I was like,
So
how
are they
crazy
still
is
here?
that? Huh? They are. Yeah, they run a dry cleaning business. Um, and like a reporter found, well, because they were in witness
I missed that
protection, they
part.
got like new identities, but a reporter found them and like did an interview and they were like talking about, they're like, he's a good kid. Like he's a nice person. He's not crazy, but his dad was so paranoid. And that's why the country is like that, because his dad was just like insanely paranoid, which is why they had the underground tunnel system that they lived in, because he didn't want them to be able to track the location. And did you see, did you remember? Um, he has a person that brings him a bucket to poop in, or like a toilet to poop in. There's a portable toilet that is brought to this man because they're afraid that spies will get his poop and analyze it and find out what's if there's any health problems or anything that's wrong
Yeah.
with him and use that information against him.
It's
And
crazy how like the paranoia runs so deep over there. Like,
yeah, that you literally have a person that
still,
brings
like
you
who
a toilet.
cares? He's like 30 something. He's like my age. Like,
Yeah,
bro, you're fine. Just chill out a little bit. Like, it's okay. You can relax. Relax your sphincter just a little bit.
yeah. The first part of this that was so crazy, the girls that killed his half brother, step brother, half brother, um, they had no idea that they were committing a murder.
Yeah.
And I didn't know
I
that. I
felt
knew
so
that
bad for him.
I did too. I knew
I
that his
feel like
brother had been murdered. I didn't know the details of it. And then to find out that these girls were like recruited and they're like, it's a prank show. You just, slap people in the face with gel. And that's why pranks are bad. Well,
yeah.
stand by until my dying day, pranks are bad. But they did. They thought that they were part of a prank show and they put nerve gas or nerve agent on this guy and killed him. And then we're arrested for it.
Yeah. It was crazy. What I loved was how he had made that friend when he was a teenager in
Oh
Switzerland,
yeah.
and then like summons him to come hang out with him like in today's time. And then whenever his friend is there, his friend was like, they had Korean food, but then they also offered fondue. I guess they were afraid I wouldn't like the Korean food, so
I mean, that's just
he
good.
made sure
That's
that
just
there
good
was something
hosting.
else there. Like I was like, that's very kind.
Yeah,
What a
that's so
nice
nice.
person. This horrible dictator is actually a sweetheart. That's
It
so
really humanized him.
yeah.
Like, yeah, he just
Showed
he's
that he does have compassion and empathy for others. And then I've heard that, his sister,
some
a few things
nutbag.
about the sister, but I did not realize she was such a psychotic bitch. Like, I'm probably going to end up like the first person they like.
Oh yeah, no, we're both definitely. If we go missing after this episode, that's why.
Definitely them. But no, I didn't realize she was. I mean, I say psychotic bitch. She is, but I kind of respect her. Like, I'm in fucking control and I'll do whatever the fuck I want to. Like, I respect that boss ass bitch vibe she's
Yeah.
got going on. Like, mad respect chick. Like, you've got it going on.
Well, especially in a country that
But,
like obviously wouldn't put her in control, where
yeah.
she's like, yeah, I'm not settling for this.
And then whenever she like blew up the
Yeah.
center for North Korea and South Korea, like
Oh
where they
my
go and have their negotiations and talk, and she like doesn't agree with something, she's like, blow that motherfucker up. Done.
God. Yeah. I was like, my God, if there was
No,
ever a way to say I don't like the offer that you put on the table, it's
right.
definitely blowing up that building. But
Yeah.
I'm curious, did they say if she blew it up on like a Monday morning at like 9 a.m. or if she blew it up on like a weekend?
I don't remember.
Because I feel like I don't think that they said it, but I feel like she definitely would have done it on like a Monday morning,
Yeah.
like 10 a.m. when she knows there's a meeting.
Like I feel like she is probably more of a threat than he is.
I agree. Well, they were saying too that they wanted to do like a co-dictatorship because he was like the more compassionate, humane one. And she was just like, I'll slit your throat right here. I don't care.
Yeah.
And like, you need that balance. And so they were like doing it together. I'm like, I don't think that she would do it.
What about another sibling? Where's the other sister? Like, is
Was
she?
there another sister?
Yeah, there is another sister. I thought. Wasn't there like two boys and two girls?
I thought there was just two boys and one girl. And then I know Kim Jong-un is
Maybe.
married. He's married.
Yeah,
Are you thinking of his wife?
maybe that's what I'm
Because
thinking.
she's a famous like opera singer or singer of some sort. She's an entertainer. She looks so
Of course
nice.
she is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think their people have an option to not be a fan of hers.
She was famous beforehand, but that's true. You're like, but you know what? Again, if I was in power, or if I was married to somebody who was in power, I'd be like, listen, it's a national mandate now. You will love me. So, you know,
Yeah, I
yeah.
can't say I wouldn't do. Now, I probably wouldn't have spent the entirety of my country's money on nuclear bombs. Like I would have made sure my people are fed and live happily because I feel that my children or my subjects are a reflection of me, and I don't want them to be suffering.
Well, here's the thing though, they don't know how badly they're suffering because of the restrictions on the media there. So they don't know exactly how bad it is. Because they're not allowed to know how bad it is.
Yeah, that Starlink needs to go over North Korea and give
They
them.
would shoot it down so hard.
Ah,
They would, yeah. Um, well, and it was so funny too when they had the runner from North Korea. He was like one of the guards in like one of the most
oh
like
yeah.
high security, like this is like the top tier position that you could get. And he made a run for it. Like you have to be like they said that was like Navy SEAL type training. Um, and he made a run for it and they like killed him. Well, they tried to kill him. He lived, and then he was like malnourished and had worms. And then
Yeah.
they were like, well, it was so funny too because they were like, they shot him, but he lived and he got the best care that he could have gotten in North Korea. And I was like, because that's what you want. You were trying to get away from it, and you're like, oh, good, I got the best care in the country that wants to kill me. Like,
Yeah. So this is a crazy little tidbit, and it's not even important, but so one
disagree.
of the parties that I've been to with Jeremy for work, I met
Did you meet
Dennis
him?
Rodman.
Oh, okay.
No, I met Dennis Rodman. But Dennis Rodman has been to North Korea
Oh, yeah.
a couple different times and met Kim Jong-un and his wife and child, actually children. Uh, Rumor is there's only one child, but there's actually, I think, supposedly two, maybe more. But they keep them in secret because, they don't want them attacked or anything.
Obviously, yeah.
Uh, but so, that like degree of
Oh,
whatever.
the 6 degrees of Kevin
Yeah.
Bacon.
Yeah. So it's like I've met someone that's met Kim Jong Un.
Well, what's interesting too is they said when President Trump went there, so they have that like oh God, what did they call it? It was a something zone, but it was basically just like we're not going to murder you in this zone.
Yeah.
Um, but President Trump was the first American, I guess, to like be in North Korea and like yeah. And so like it was like a huge deal. And it wasn't like he went into like the full country and like had dinner at their house. He literally just like walked over like a step and he was like, I'm in North Korea. And then they like went back into South Korea to continue like their meeting. But like, yeah, that was nuts. And I thought it was so funny too when they were talking about the two of them and they're like, they just had a bromance. And I was like, when you see Kim Jong Un as like a person and a person that grew up. They said all of his friends growing up were his like bodyguards. Like he didn't grow up with kids
Yeah.
and like just be like, ah, like they were, I'll admit it, they were cute together. And I thought that when I saw them walking, like those pictures that they had, you're just like, they just look like two bros, just two crazy dictators.
Who do I want to kill today? I don't know. Who do you want to kill?
Yeah, like I feel like that's what they just be like skipping down the road, like what should we do today? And like it was cute, but like it's because they're both psychotic.
Yeah. Yeah. But although the friend from Switzerland, like they apparently like Kim Jong Un and him like played video games together
Yeah.
and like chilled at his mom's house. Like just like that's just so crazy thinking of him as just like a normal person.
Yeah, like you don't want to think of like those people as like normal human beings. And then you see things and you're like, no kidding, they really are just like us. And then like then
Makes
he goes
me
and
wonder
blows
like
something
what
up.
video games did he like to play? Because I like to play video games. Like I wonder what he liked to play.
Probably like role play games, like the RPGs. Like he probably would have played like the Stardust and the stuff like that. Like I can't imagine he played Call of Duty or something. Like I feel like he has enough
Like,
of like
I can do that in real life. I don't know.
yeah, like that's exactly he's like that's boring. I literally just bombed someone. like no, I want to go on a horse quest. Well, he did. He had a horse and they were talking about the symbolism of him on his horse of like he was
Ancestors, and so it.
yeah, his ancestors he wanted like to be seen as like they were.
Yeah.
And it was such an interesting documentary that I was not expecting to enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't expect to enjoy it that much either. I was like, this is really interesting. And then the next one was the Bin Laden one. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this one too.
Yeah, like I'd seen it and Hulu was recommending it to me for like a brief period of time. And I was always just like, I'm not watching something on North Korea. I don't want to watch something. And then I'm like watching it and I'm like, wow,
I'm
this
so
is
intrigued by North Korea because it's so what goes on there? I don't know. So like I go on Google Earth and like check it out and I'll zoom into the towns and find where people have posted pictures there and I'm like, oh, what's it look like? There's a picture. Yes, I get to see.
and then that person's dead. So
They shouldn't have posted it. But
that's yeah. It's the risk that you take for being a journalist. Yeah, it is. It's such a secretive country, but I went the opposite. Like, I don't think about it or care about it at all. specifically because it's so secretive that like I just put it completely out of my mind. I did think I remember this, and I don't know how I blocked it out. How his sister, in like December 2020, was like,
I
expect a
forgot about that.
yeah, I did too. Like, expect a Christmas gift from North Korea, and like she was talking about bombing us, and I remember it being like a whole thing where I was like, because they made the monster, which was like a bomb that literally was going to like take everybody out. And I completely blocked out of my mind because 2020 was such a dumpster fire that
Mm-hmm.
when they were like, and North Korea is probably going to bomb us for Christmas. And you're like, yeah, probably.
Or whatever.
Like, just fucking
If it
end it
happens,
already.
it happens. There's nothing I can do about it. So
Yeah, you're like, well, and like my thought was like, I'm like, man, and I'm in a major city. Like, who knows?
yeah.
Yeah, definitely I worth the watch on Hulu. Let me look up the name of it.
It was good. I loved it. And then Megan's like suggesting other things. I was like, man, I watched the Kim Jong-un thing. I think you need to watch that. That was really good. She's like, okay.
Yeah.
All right, sure. It
Oh,
was really
apparently I
good.
took it
And
off
it
my
says
stuff.
episode 1. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, are there going to be more episodes? Because I'd love to know more.
Yeah,
We've
I think
covered
it's going.
everything, but
Okay, so it's called North Korea Inside the Mind of a Dictator. And this was season 1, episode 1. So I'm guessing that there's going to be more episodes on different dictators, which honestly is a risky move. I feel like dictators don't typically want you nosing around in their business and
and
humanizing
I was about
them.
to say, and humanizing them.
Like North Korea, you're fine because the North Koreans will never see it. But
yeah.
other places,
So
you
maybe
know, and
next it'll be Putin.
yeah. Oh my God, can you imagine? But it's the thing, like, you do find
Hell yeah,
out, like,
one on him. There's got to be one on him
I don't know.
because they're
Like,
not
there's,
quite as restricted. I mean, they're on the internet all the time. They're everyone we talk to on the internet.
yeah.
We just don't
There
know it.
was there was a weird thing that I saw today where they were comparing, I don't remember who they were comparing, but they were comparing they were comparing Hitler to somebody else that like killed more people and like was a worse guy, but like it was somebody I'd never heard of before. And I was like, I wonder just how many people are like every time that we talk about like genocides and stuff, we talk about the Holocaust and we talk about that. But there are other
I
genocides
think
and we
that's because it was recent and it was something we went. It was a world war out of it.
yeah.
Where some other genocides haven't had a world war, come from it.
Yeah. But it was so interesting to think about that where I was like, yeah, like I don't know anything about this. And there's so many different like dictators who like cause genocides and like leaders that cause genocides and like were just as bad as these other people. And I'm sure there's other ones who are just as bad as Kim Jong-un. And we just like don't know about them. We're just like living in blind, like, okay, the media is going to allow us to know about these 6 people, and that is it. And we're just going to pretend everybody else doesn't exist.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good. I definitely suggest everybody watch it if you like
Yeah.
things like that. If you don't like things like that, don't. But if you have seen it, let us know in the comments what you thought, and be sure to like and subscribe.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Everybody's shooting off fireworks here.
Yeah, I keep hearing that. I was wondering what it was
Oh,
for.
good. So that's going to be in this. Yeah, no, it's Memorial Day and everybody's shooting off fireworks.
See, I never knew people shot fireworks for Memorial Day.
They shoot off fireworks 24/7, but because it's Memorial Day, there's more of them. So it's not, you could go ahead and do a disclaimer. It's not gunshot shots, it's just fireworks.
Gunshots or fireworks, the world may never know.
It's gunshots during our Kim Jong-un special. They're coming for me.
I'm so tired.
I know you are. I could see
I'm
it in
trying
the
to cut
end.
you off. I'm just like, so tired.
I know. I saw it at the end. You're like sitting there and you're just like, need him off so we can do this other one. You just like